Okay, 2031, good luck. So we have played before and I lost the game we played before. Okay, let's play traditional reti. What's that symbol? Okay, we're just going to try and collect our pawn back here. Just a standard reti opening. Let's develop. Okay, now how do we want to do this? I'm going to go d4 this game, or maybe develop the bishop this way instead of this way. So let's bring the knight up first. Just got to be careful about getting the queen trapped or under an attack, and then you just suddenly got nowhere to escape to. So right now we've got a couple of avenues we can run. So I'm going to develop the bishop and maybe trade it for the knight or the bishop here. Right, so this is where we've got a choice to make. I think I want to come back this way. We're going to get c5 coming soon, so I could put the queen here, but it feels like I should come back over. I'm going to try and get the rooks into place somewhere, but we're going to get c5 coming. Let's just drop back. I mean, how do we want to trade it? Yeah, c5's on the way. We could potentially trade and go forward and maybe sack a pawn. How do we do this? I guess knight up's a move here, actually. I'm going to go forward and hit that bishop. This pawn is a bit loose now. It's not protected. But we're pretty sure c5 is coming. It's kind of all standard in the reti opening. Relatively standard. Now, if I take and you take here, I can go here and hit the knight. But the knight's got a very nice square. So do I want to move the queen out the way or just take... Doesn't matter what rook I do. I'm going to bring the rook right across so the queen can drop behind. So c5 now we can take back. If knight back we can simply take right now, but obviously the knight's got a very nice outpost here. Why I don't really want to try and push the pawn 2 squares right now, because then we can never come back. So b3 might prove to be a better square, but at some point c5 is going to come. We'll end up trading. It'll happen at some point. We can't really avoid it. So bishop back, knight in is very natural. So I'm just intending to take, I think, here. Yeah, I'm just going to take there. And maybe just a gentle pawn push. Is there anything better? I mean, I've got knight across here as well, actually, and then maybe I can jump in over and then charge c5. Actually, that seems reasonable, doesn't it? What's wrong with that? Let's come in and hit the bishop. I don't think he'll take here, but he might do. Let's just pre-move. He might take, but I doubt it. Oh, he has taken, so we've got a pawn that's slightly out of the way now. So I assume I want b3 for this, but we're going to get c5, c4 coming. But eventually when you push, I can maybe jump in. But no concrete plans right now. I'm just going to play b3, give the queen a potential option to come across and guard the pawn, at least for a few moves. But yeah, if c5, we could look at rook up or knight up. We can maybe get rid of the bishop. The knight's gone back. Okay, I've got knight check, and I can take the knight, and you might have to play a move like pawn across. That looks very tempting, doesn't it? Check. If you don't take, I simply capture the knight. So check here, takes here, then takes, and you've got an open position. I like the look of that. So is there anything more effective? Like if I go knight here, you can actually take back and the rook guards, but I'm looking at check then. So I'm going to play it and I'm going to take this knight. It's whether I actually go to the trouble of taking the pawn or I allow the pawn to come across. I think I'm going to take and hit the queen and then just try and take the knight back. Right, so now I'm going to take... Black doesn't have to take here, but if you do, we get a tempo attacking a pawn. Rook across, we can take this one, but this is loose as well. But now we've got the king slightly open. It could actually become a benefit to black later in the game if you can imagine a quick attack coming, if that's possible. But it gives us a chance to try and lift a rook. So my opponent's gone after my pawn, so if I take here... I assume you would play a move like rook across. I take here, you take here, you're suddenly doubled up. But if I don't take, I'm losing this pawn, aren't I? But does that really matter? Does it matter which one we go for? We could just play a move like rook straight up. I can't go here now though, which would be very nice. So if we take and you take here, I can activate this rook, or I can go straight up with a view to coming over at some point. I like the look of that. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to try and activate the rook if you take here, I think. Obviously, there is targets here for my opponent to go for, but I'm looking at going after the king. So say right across. So rook up, if you go here, I need to shift the queen. So we're probably going to come here. You can then take... We could potentially take here, or you could take with a queen, we could take here, or we can start going after the king. If I throw my pawn forward, you can't actually take right now though. Yeah, I'm going to do that. We're liable to lose these pawns anyway, so I might as well throw it forward, and I'll delay the rook lift for one move. It might be costly though, because maybe you can just challenge the rook lift now, but we could shift the rook across. Oh, he's gone there, so we could just potentially take now. Take. But then there's less of danger to the king. So I like the idea of keeping the queen on the board. Take. Yeah, I'm going to play queen across and keep the queen on the board if I can. Because I'm trying to do something like this sort of concept. Now, I think I have to take there, otherwise that pawn is too dangerous. And then we're going to try and collect this if we can. Although we can straight away. Okay, let's take. But I need to get this rook something like that. I'm not quite sure exactly how to achieve that just yet. Rook forward might be a move. Might be. Where else do we go? We could play rook across, so if you ever come over we can trade a queen for two rooks, and then we can do something like this. Rook across feels wrong. If I go here though, it's committal, isn't it? Because if you play a move like rook across, it feels like it's getting committal there. I'm going to do it though. I'm going to threaten to play a rook up and go after the king with a check and then something like queen back. So that's my basic idea. I've just got to decide am I going to trade, but it feels safe if I do that. Rook across and we trade. As long as I double the rooks up, it feels like there's no real risk to the king. There is this potential concept, but it feels safe enough. Doesn't mean it is, but it feels like it is. Yeah, he's gone across. So rook up, I assume I need to, without burning too much clock here. So I'm going to do that. So we hit the queen with a check threat. Say you counter it like this. We take with check. So he's gone across. But now, can I just play right over and immediately hit this pawn? Why not? Why not indeed? Let's come over and hit the pawn. Just got to be a bit careful of counter punches. If you get a rook here, for instance, or you've got a rook here, it's obviously danger both ways, but we're hitting a pawn. Now he's gone there to guard, logical. Now I've got queen here. Now if I get queen here, how do you defend it? How do you guard this pawn and the mate threat if I've got queen back? Actually, how do you guard it? I don't see, so I'm going to play it. We're threatening a checkmate in 2. Check, back, and mate. So there's a mate in 2 on the board, or back and mate in the corner. I'm also threatening to take with the rook as well. I don't see how you get the queen back. There might be a move. Yeah, there wasn't a move. He just missed it. Okay, so we've managed to level up our head-to-head score 1-1. So we will put that through the engine and see what it says. 31 moves we managed to play for that game. So let's just see how the engine said that we played it. You can see puzzle training there, the ready accepted. If you click on that, it'll bring up some puzzles in that particular opening to do. So very useful, especially for low rated players, help a lot with pattern recognition. So it looks like we're just broadly level the whole game, then my opponent has just made one move mistake or one move blunder, and that's cost the game, it looks like. Still +5 there, so there might actually be a defense. We'll just have a look at that at the end. Oh, we're better here and we've messed up somewhere. So somewhere here we're better and we've blundered, so we're +3 better, so we've actually played the game very well out the opening. It might be the knight check might be wrong or something. Oh no, it's b3. b3 is a mistake. And the engine is saying I should just play rook to d4. And then f5 would be the reply. I don't know why, but that's the line. But if you don't see these moves, then obviously you're not going to play the whole line out. That's a very odd line, isn't it, for me to look at anywhere. So b3, according to the engineer, was a blunder because of that. Then how did opponent go wrong at the end? Because the game is basically essentially level in this position. We've cleaned up the queenside pawns. There was still level here, rook across, and then simply push the pawn and it's still essentially level. So just missed the concept there. So queen down was the right move. And again, the engine is saying just push the pawn actually. But it's now completely winning. So the engine is saying you just got to push that pawn, but it's now completely winning. So if I click on that, hold on, afterwards. I meant to click on that afterwards. What's the line? So the engine is saying push the pawn, just bring the queen in. And you can't then stop us from actually taking. That's a mate threat as well. So what was Alden? It's changing its mind, isn't it? So it's saying f6. If you play rook here, then I assume I simply take the rook because the rook's not guarded. So you play f6, we take, and you have to give up your queen. So barring calamitous blunders, it should be a win. So it was just a simple one-move blunder. We've gone from level, and it's just a simple one-move blunder. Otherwise, it's still a level game. So we get a bit lucky with that.